All right, everybody, welcome back to the Conserving Freedom Network. We are at the Freedom Compound. We will quickly be out at the shooting range here. We are going to do a little how-to series. We're going to continue the how-to series. This is going to be, tips and tricks, how to draw from the holster and acquire a red dot a little quicker. Tips to basically guarantee that you're going to get your red dot in place. Couple drills, couple, tangible ideas that I have, maybe, a thought or two that hasn't worked in the past, and kind of how I've gotten to a point where, as just a civilian guy who trains, has gotten halfway competent in, drawing from a hip holster to getting a first shot. So just to put it out there, currently my really good draw to first shot is right around 1.5 seconds. It's like a 1.523. I can consistently get about a 1.75, 1.88. So I am not the fastest in the world, but I am getting good at acquiring a red dot pretty quickly. So for those who are starting to transition to a red dot, we're going to have just a couple tips and tricks here at the Freedom Compound. Then I'm going to do some voiceovers at the range to show you in action where I'm doing well, where I'm doing bad. So let's start with just a couple tips from when drawing, how to guarantee that you're going to get pretty close to seeing your red dot every time. So one of the first things comes from where your support hand ends up meeting contact with your pistol and with your strong hand. So what I mean by that is, if you, and we'll show everybody here for YouTube, we are clear and safe. Clear and safe. So what I mean by that is, as we are drawing, okay, and timer goes beep, and I get my hand in my support hand somewhere right on my abdomen, strong hand goes onto the gun, where should my support hand be? So for me, and this was something I worked through, it was a little low at first for me with a holster that rides pretty high. So when I would get here and I would touch my belt and then come up to draw, I was getting too low on the gun, or it was doing something funky where I had to join everything a little low and maybe push it off to the side or start to kind of scoop it up. And then right now I do not see my dot. So there I have to fish for it, right? Because I kind of scoop it up and it's not driving out nice and flat. So for me, it was about figuring out where that support hand has to go when I am ready and I hear that beep. So timer goes beep. My hand is pretty much covering my belly button because I have that higher holster. So, and beep, I'm right here, okay? Now when I draw, that hand gets on it a little more where that pistol comes out, and I can start turning and getting on target. My red dot is spot on. That's a huge tip number one. I know it sounds silly, huge tip. Second tip, probably the most important thing, you have to be target focused. So I'm going to turn here 90 degrees, and when I'm drawing, I have to be target focused. One of the things that I was doing really poorly early on was beep, come out, and I'm like sort of dipping in, and I'm almost like already on my red dot, looking for it on the way up, super red dot focused. Bad. When that starts to move with speed, I'm all over the place. And again, I've got my head down here, my eyes, and then it's like a guessing game if I'm gonna find it. So it was really staying target focused. So beep, target focused, get that up, drive it out, there's my red dot, okay? And I'm not doing any of this fishing around with my head. My head stays square. So that sort of leads me into thought number 3, which is let that red dot just get in the way, right? We're gonna go just super simple. Gun goes in a straight line out, quickest way up. I'm not sliding it up. I'm not bringing it up and landing it down. Gun is just coming out nice and straight. I am super target focused, and I am letting that red dot get in the way, and that is spot on, okay? And that is target focus. One of the things that has really helped me with that, having a laser, and you can't see it, but having this Olight with a laser also on it, what I would do is really focus on seeing that laser and staying super target focused and making sure that that laser obviously is going to line up with my red dot because I've got them zeroed like that. So I'm thinking, turn on my light and see that laser hit my target. So beep, comes up, turn that light on, bang. If I'm just staring at that laser, that's such a great dry fire drill. See that laser, because that's gonna guarantee, bang, that my red dot is there as well, right? So I'm just doing these dry fire drills where if that laser on my wall, on the other side of the wall here, is coming up nice and straight, my red dot's gonna be on it. Having that laser for dry fire has helped a ton in my red dot acquisition. And I'm not cheating looking at that red dot. So let's summarize so far, and I'm gonna end it with one more before we look at shooting clips and sort of break down when there's actually live ammunition and I'm doing it for a time. So we got good hand placement. That's gonna make sure that I'm not doing anything weird on the grip, scooping it, grabbing it too low, pulling it up too low, something weird. Good support hand placement on that draw. Bang right to the belly button. For those with a lower holster, yes, it might be on your belt buckle. Okay, then I am staying super target focused, right? I am super target focused. Gun's coming up in a straight line and just getting in the way of my target. And again, that laser combo with your light laser combo is a super beneficial thing to get your eyes away from trying to find the red dot. You're never looking at the red dot. That was a big one for me. Last one that I like a lot, and it's sort of like in this golf world, for those of you who play golf, it's like knowing your tendencies, knowing your misses, right? So for a guy who can eliminate one side of the golf course, if you just watch the Players Awesome Championship, you know, guys who would hit hooks and hit slices, you have nothing to fall back on in terms of knowing what your tendency is. For a guy who always misses to the right, you've eliminated one whole miss on the left, right? There's your golf analogy. Works the same for shooting, I think. If I start to understand, okay, when this comes out and my red dot is always when I miss, when I don't see it, my red dot is always a little up and to the right, I can get pretty good with, okay, shit, I don't see it, and it's probably up and to the right, and I can drag it back down. So maybe not the best teaching, maybe instructors hate that, but I think knowing your tendencies is not bad. If it's consistently like, okay, pull it out of the holster, I don't see it. That's typically because I'm up and to the right. Just trust, drive it back down a little, and now I see it, right? So that could be a tip, and it's something, even if you don't apply it in practice, like, okay, I don't see it, where is it? Just know I have a tendency. My tendency is for that dot to be low and left. My tendency is for that dot to be up and to the right. And then test yourself when you don't see it. Okay, that was up and to the right. I know that, right? And then it's just a little mini correction. Never switching your focus back onto that red dot. You're still staying target focused, but maybe I can make the slightest manipulation and yes, it's in the way. So as we start to move with a little bit of speed, here we go, right? And beep, bang. Okay, good. And here we go, beep, bang. Really good. Really good for me. Keep dry firing. Those are my tips. Let's see some breakdown of my shooting, my voiceover in real life. Let's take a look here. All right, so here is the first shot. Let's take a look at that support hand first. Good spot for the support hand. Not a ton of wasted motion. I actually saw the red dot nice and quickly there. So that was a good first try. We'll see there. That's my sweet spot. That's 1.77. So we're going to zoom in on the hit here just to show you. That was an A-zone hit. So good, comfortable speed for me. I liked that one. All right, now I'm going to do a couple practices here. Let's look. So something bad. That hand was too low. So that support hand was a little too low, and you could definitely see me sort of scooping that pistol into position. Let's see another one here. So I believe this is another dry fire practice. So that hand too low. See how it kind of wants to weirdly ride up? So that's a problem for me. So those were not great with the support hand. Better, but I kind of cheated it on the draw. So decent. And I'm working on getting that hand higher. So we'll see one more dry fire. It's not bad. But what you notice is I'm not fishing my head all over the place. I know where my tendency to not see the red dot is, so I'm not having a lot of extra head motion. Now it comes up, and I take my shot. So decent with the support hand. Again, didn't love it. Still a little scoopy, but we will see where I marked the hit here. Yep, so that was just off. That was just a C-zone hit. So decent, but you can see the kind of things I'm working on. All right, so we've got this clip slowed down now a little. I'm going to be doing 2 on the middle and then transitioning to the 1 on the left. Let's see the draw here. Better with the support hand. Came up a little high, actually, but got the pistol out pretty darn decently. So as I transition, it was actually a pretty good transition. So I believe those were all A hits. What you can see then that next time, if you go back and watch this, my support hand came up a little too high, and then I had to drive that support hand back down, and that messes up. Once those hands connect, that's going to throw that pistol off a little if it's not perfect, thus throwing that red dot off a little. So that's another important piece. It's all about practicing where that support hand needs to go. All right, this one's also slowed down a little. Let's take a look at the draw. Good placement for the support hand. I like that. Head never moved. Like that one as well. So that means I was super target focused. Didn't see my head dipping, trying to cheat and find the red dot. That one worked together really well. What I liked about that is that means I was able to transition nice and quick because I was staying so target focused. My eyes were just going from one target to the next. As soon as that red dot became a blur in my vision, I took the shot and I kept moving on. So we're going to watch one more here just at the end. It's going to be a full speed, one shot. I actually really liked the way this last one turned out. So let's hear what y'all think in the comments. Feel free to drop some tips and tricks, what you liked, what you didn't. Thank y'all for tuning into the Conserving Freedom Network. We'll see you next time, and I will leave you with this good one.